I've just recently attended a United Nations conference in Fiji. This conference was about capacity building in cooperative society in the Asia Pacific region. It has opened up my mind to know that one of the missing link in PNG economy is cooperative society. We have seen a lot of examples of cooperative society being very successful before in the likes, especially in Morobe, where we have the 6 cooperative society in Morobe and one in Papua New Guinea that makes up that started with coffee and gradually established mainland holdings that has now have New Guinea table birds and all that. So they are examples of cooperative society that worked. We asked the question why the things that worked before in PNG has not worked now, because policies and changes, political directives have changed, and now we're trying to start all over again, doing the same thing over again. And I believe the concept of leaving no one behind and the way forward and the model that should make that work is the cooperative model. It worked everywhere. Cooperative worldwide employs 10% of the world's population. It has a turnover of almost 2,000 plus billion USD turnover per year. And if it works, it will definitely work in PNG, because we are very rare in Papua New Guinea. We're one of the rare countries that have people owning their land and living on the land since we were born. And we already knew agriculture before anybody introduced agriculture to PNG, because we live by living on the land. And the cooperative model is the way forward. It is the way forward because you empower people who already know what they know in terms of planting crops, and with cooperative model we can be able to bring them into commercialization. And in a small way, you have a community, a clan, a village, or a wood that can form cooperatives to lead it up and to encourage each other to get into small business and small economy. SME comes out of cooperative society. If you want SME to really work, you have to have a model like cooperative society, and from cooperative society, you build your income. Those income generated by the members of the cooperative can go into trade store, can go into chicken farming, can go into piggery, to fisheries, and there you go. In a community, you already have a business model that is working. Cooperative is workable. Policies of cooperative and regulations are easy. Everybody are the same. You start a cooperative, profit sharing is equal. It's not like business association where a director becomes the only guy that signs the checks and authorizes, and that's why all the corruption and all the mismanagement of funds comes in, because we run a business model that is not workable to our policies. We respect each other in community. We should work in our community settings so that anything that we bring in terms of income for cooperative can be shared evenly in the community. And I think there's harmony and everybody enjoyed that. And as I said, it worked in PNG and it worked in Morobe province. So I can't see any reason why we want to go and look at creating new things that are hard for our people to understand, because our structures, our village structures, are more conducive to cooperative structures. And I believe in cooperative movement, that the only thing that PNG government and our authorities have missed is the cooperative, making cooperative a department, or making cooperative society an association or an authority on its own, so it gets direct funding And those direct funding shouldn't pass through the provincial government system and the local level government system, because you will have a department that goes straight to the people that you manage on the ground. And that is the way forward. Because now, look at agriculture department. Money pass through paper cooperatives and paper farmers. They don't reach the people. But if you have a model that is working, you have an executive who are running the community effectively and become responsible for their community and well-being, you know where your money is going, and you can see where the income is. And there we can bring our coffee farmers into the cooperative settings, the small holding farmers in coffee, in cocoa, in vanilla, in fruit and vegetable section. They will have cooperatives that are managed in the area where they are comfortable in terms of the cash crop production in the area. And the last meeting in Fiji that I attended, where cooperative movement in the Asia Pacific region, and ICA, which is the International Cooperative Alliance, which PNG has been a member maybe since 2015. We have never attended any of those forums, because these people have realized that Papua New Guinea is not a cooperative destiny. We have moved out of cooperative into other business entities. And that's the reason why we have missed out. But I have been an advocate in cooperative since 2015, and pushing and going back to the villages and saying that let's work together and moving these things. And somehow I got a recognition from the United Nations. And that's why they can't invite any government officers or any departmental guys, because they know we cooperative has been a last priority in our economic and government system. So they picked my name from the blue, and I've attended two forums so far, one in 2019 and this latest one in a month ago. And from that, they want to pick my brain and know what is happening with cooperative. And I was honest. Our government has given cooperative a very low priority in terms of budgetary requirements, in terms of making it becomes a small unit out of Department of Commerce, when it should give it the mandate to be an authority like they've given to IPA and giving to small business industry. Those should be a cooperative model that comes out and be a department or be a authority that can be directly funded, so that we can see, because we have seen a lot of good things in cooperative. I mean, SME can come out of cooperative, and I said that and I'll say it again. SME and SME can come on its own. It will be part of that cooperative management. We have street fashion store, which has been working, but that model has failed because our government policy has changed from cooperative to business group. And business group, you can see a lot of issues with cooperatives from the beginning, turned into business group and got winded up because one person controlling the work of cooperative, and that's why it failed. Misuse has come out, corruption has come out, an individual has become a CEO and a director, signs all the checks and misuse. So the model itself is suitable for PNG, for our society, because it will work. As I said, we have the land, we have the people. If we can have the funding, a lot of people and government can go and say the same thing, that a lot of misuse. You have seen misuse in middlemen, but with cooperative, it's direct. You work direct with the chairmen and with the executive of cooperatives in the rural setting, where they have coffee, where they have cocoa, where they have vanilla, where they have vegetables, cofra, all this. And you can see that this business model will work. It's in the blood of us, Papua New Guinea. We are already in Morobe. We have the biggest cultivated land mass. That's why we are the biggest province. So there is more Morobians cultivating land out there and working alone in isolation and can't bring their crops to the market because there's no support. We all can complain and say support from the government. But if we have cooperative society, people will bypass all this other system to go straight to cooperative, show them their books, show them what they are doing, and they receive direct funding so they can assist it. And you only need capital startup. Once you get the capital startup going, then you can see that the cooperative is working. And I believe that with our situation in Papua New Guinea now, that money has been missing in departments and all that, of agriculture and all that, and not reaching the people, we need to make cooperative become an authority from the last meeting. And the meeting that I attended, we have representative of cooperative ministers representing cooperative in the Asia Pacific region. And one of the biggest surprise that we have a representative from our nearest and closest neighbors, Australia. And Australia is looking at setting up, putting it into recommending the federal government to make cooperative becoming a department in the federal government. So Australians have seen the benefits of cooperative, and they are moving that way. Papua New Guinea, we got to have this direction. We need to do that because, as I said, it has been clearly notified by the cooperative people that around the world that the missing link in PNG economy is cooperative society, because they believed that we have the land, we have the people, and they are the people who are supposed to build cooperative models that are working. And all around the world, cooperative models have worked and have built nations. PNG, let's not think about new things and ask people to come and help us. We already have the technology, we have the know-how in terms of working together as a community and getting into business. So I believe with what I have covered so far, the welcoming news is that the ICA has recognized the Pacific Forum and are now working with forming a group in the Pacific Forum where we will have Pacific Cooperative Forum, which is part of the ICA and the United Nations program to help with the Pacific Island countries, because the cooperative network has been in the Pacific Island country, has worked in Fiji, has worked in New Caledonia, has worked with in Samoa, in Solomon Island, Vanuatu, all our smaller island states. Their economy survived with cooperative movement, in copra, in coffee, in cocoa, and we are the missing link. We have the missing link in this economy. We need to get into cooperative society. And a lot of these smaller nations have come together, and we've got a forum, we have a voice. And also one of the welcoming news is the Pacific Island College of Cooperative is going to be revived, and it will be revived through the network of the forum in the Pacific, so that we can send our cooperative leaders to become trainers to come and work with farmers and communities to really see the model working in PNG. With that, the last thing that has come up on the forum was the International Year of Cooperative, which is nominated by UN and the ICI to be 2025. And we, as member of ICA, will be celebrating that year 2025 and have put something forward so that we can celebrate and make cooperative work. And if people within the Department of Commerce can see cooperative as a way forward for us, we should start working on getting the policies done to make cooperative become an authority, so that we can celebrate that in 2025 and get cooperative out as an authority, so that we can see some changes to our economy. Currently, when we said the economy is down, the people in the villages are still planting their crops, still eating, they're still surviving. The country can go down, but the people will survive, because 80% of the people are now living on the land. And I think the way forward for this country should be the cooperative movement. And I'm ready to work. I'm working with a lot of farmers in Morobe to see if we can get into that model. And a lot of this has been working. We have cooperatives in Morobe who are exporting coffees already. An example of Unan Kuwait, they're already sending coffees to Europe and everywhere in the world. We have been recognized through a small way, through working together as a team, mobilizing farmers and moving towards cocoa and coffee. We have cooperatives who are already ready to work and move forward. But we need that recognition from the government in terms of making cooperative becoming a model that can work, and have direct funding in terms of logistic and help from the government to see the cooperative model come to reality. And I believe it's a way forward for this country. Thank you.